basically, yeah, we're gonna have a chat in the rain. Theoretically, I'm chatting to myself, car. Always depends how many people hear me, innit? 0 people might ever really hear me. But we're gonna have a chat in the rain, car. I thought it's the settings, innit? Going for a walk in the rain. Hopefully you can hear the rain. So yeah, I don't even know what I'm gonna talk about today, like. But so one thing that's on my mind is like an ultimatum, right? Because sometimes, and obviously it's hard to give advice on this shit, because you see when like a decision presents itself, because not everything is classed as an ultimatum, but sometimes people don't know they're giving you ultimatums. Like, for example, I'll just say it in some current issues, not issues, but current things that occur, which to some people they are issues, but there's current things that occur, right? So someone could say, you either you pick our side, and we're not, at this moment in time, I'm not talking about races or anything like that, but it does happen in races. But I'm not talking about races, but it happens, people from a certain race, but I'm not talking about races, I'm just saying how, an example of how it happens. It can happen multiple ways though. So some people say, you pick to roll with us, yeah? Or you take our abuse. Like, you can come and chill over here. I'm not saying people say it like this, but they're like, not chill over here, but you can fit in here. Some people don't want to chill with you anyway. You can fit in here and still take our abuse. Or you can say, fuck us, but still take our abuse. So they're not realizing that they're giving you an actual decision there. Like, you can either, they're in their head, some of them are like, the only issue is you can be lower than me. You feel me? So I'm like, no, man, don't take those ultimatums, bro. It doesn't mean I think I'm higher than you, but I'm not lower than someone like you, believe me. Especially not mentally wise and mentality wise. That doesn't mean I think I'm above you, but if that's how you want to act, you've already shown where you sit on the food chain in my eyes. But that's just me being judgmental now and like a bit rude. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, it don't mean I think I'm above people, but some people will show where they sit. That's not my fault. You gave me the ultimatum. I just open my eyes, open my ears. Like, so it's like, and when you're when you're younger, right? Sometimes when you're younger as well, yeah, you don't see the ultimatum that someone's given you, so you take it as an ultimatum. You have to see the ultimatum to realize there's more than 2 options. It goes for the streets as well. So like I said, I was using race as an example when people say, yeah, like we're gonna talk all this shit about you. For every single race though, I'm not just singling out one race. We're gonna talk all this shit about you. You can either laugh with us or cry against us, type of thing. Or sorry, cry with us or cry against us. However you want to put it, it still fits, yeah. So when you're young, and it's just, like I said, that's the example I was given. But anyway, it's the same for street shit. It's the same for many things in life, man. In popularity in general, that has nothing to do with races. It's just a popularity thing. And who can say what? Who feels the most pain and anger? So they're gonna hurt other people. We can all join it. So that's what I'm saying. So you either join it on one side, or join it on the other side. Both sides you might cry. I ain't pick out. So me, now I'm a bit more older and maturer. Maybe not mature, but possibly wiser. I'm like, you know what? I ain't picking a side. No damn ones. I'm just like, fuck it then. I ain't picking a side. The youth can't always see the ultimatum. When you don't see the ultimatum, your brain kind of goes. There's multiple scenarios, don't get me wrong, but your brain goes off, there's only 2 decisions, I either can or I can't, but no. That is true in the formula of a question, of course, like a yes or no answer or yes or no action, yeah. You either can or you can't, it's true, but it's not. That's just one of the formulas, or should I say one part of the formula. So to break it down more, someone could say, do you want to do this for me? You know it could get you in trouble, but there might be a reward at the end of it, but you don't really want to do it. So let's give you the street example. Whatever situation you want to choose from the streets, whatever, I'm just saying they want you to do something bad. You can get this reward, but things can go wrong. But you don't really want to do it. Part of you does for the clout and the money. yeah? You can say no, but now I'm going to go and do this instead of just saying no and then saying, oh, nothing's going to go right for me. There's always evil's always presenting itself to me. Trust me, we all feel like that in many places, many areas, many parts of the world. Sometimes people don't really get a choice, they're born into it. So if you're sitting there and you've got the choice, you're blessed. You're already blessed. So you like start seeing the ultimate is my advice. And this is a bit of irrelevant anyway, because like I said, when you're angry or when you're presented with a situation, good or bad, you don't realize the ultimatum. But my advice is not to avoid ultimatums. My advice here is to start seeing the ultimatums, like even in other people's lives, because then when it comes to you, be like, okay, like I can play this a little bit slower. That's not always about rushing. Like that doesn't mean you're going to get any of a kick or quicker or get anything better than anyone else. You're more likely to make more mistakes. I've rushed many times. There was times when I couldn't get out of a rush mentality. You know what I used to do? So I used to cycle, yeah. I used to just ride pedal bikes for years. Like that's just how we grew up in my area. We didn't have money. All our parents didn't have cars on this. We live in the city anyway. We don't really need to drive anywhere. The thought of driving was just more of a luxury. Like, yeah, when I get money, now I can drive wherever I want. But some of our parents couldn't really afford cars. Some could, some couldn't. We just pedal biked everywhere. We probably would have never cycled and thought it was just nerdy if we didn't kind of have to. Like we only had what we had, innit? Like, which was like little fucking toy cars, pedal bikes and shit. Some kids don't have nothing. But anyway, so I'm grateful for cycling. But anyway, I cycled for like 5-10 years, maybe a bit more before I even got like a motorbike, like a moped, a scooter. And my mind was like at ease, car. On a pedal bike you can go 30 miles an hour. Can't really go faster than that unless you're going downhill. But on average speed, you're hitting 10-15 miles per hour less if you're not as strong or you're skinnier, whatever. Not skinnier, but like skinnier without muscle tone, definition, i.e. weaker. You're not going as fast, so your life is still like walking. Yeah. Then I got my moped, whizzing around everywhere. My patience was like wearing thin. I've always been built up, like from a certain age I had quite good patience in many situations. But there's different types of patience for different types of situations, but I'm not getting into that. My patience was good in certain places, it was terrible in other places, yeah. But cycling around, like it was like the balance between walking and running type of thing, a bit faster than both. So my patience was like alright, it was getting better like with age. Jumped on my motorbike for a year or two, moped, yeah, and I was whizzing around 30-40 miles per hour, but if I hit A roads I'm hitting like 50 to 70. That's only on a 125. Obviously you hardly get into 70, but every now and again you will get to 60, 70s. Like, on an average, like just cruising between 65, like if you're hitting long roads, long A roads. So then whizzing through traffic zone, never stopping traffic, no matter how small the gap is. I ain't trying to wait. If I can get through the gap, I'm going through the gap, so I'm not waiting. So my patience is dying, like. So now where my patience was quite good in certain areas, I was trying to and now my patience was like sucking because I didn't want to wait, you get what I'm saying? So my brain was telling me like to rush, like I just want something now, I want the money now, the business now, everything has to come right now. And it was even worse because I had patience, which I'm grateful for, but because my brain was telling me, no, don't rush this. But I was like, so I was basically saying to my brain, and my brain was saying to my body, do what you're telling me not to do, nothing. And you're telling me, my brain's telling me do this, you're saying don't rush this. So I was like, I gave myself an ultimatum, I didn't even see it. So I was like, I ain't doing shit then. If I can't have it now, and that sounds bare lazy, bare ungrateful, but that's literally how it plays in your brain when you're rushing. And I was working and shit certain times, so I wasn't really caught up in online as much as youth that were born into this shit, yeah? I still spent quite a lot of time on it, don't get me wrong, I'm not going to front now, I'm not going to sit here in front to you. But yeah, so I gave myself an ultimatum in my brain, like, your patience was telling you, don't rush this, but my brain was telling me I need this now. So I was clashing with my own brain, basically, just like we do anyway. We all got voices in our mind, have conversations with ourselves, there's nothing wrong with that, but when you're clashing with your mind, it's painful for your cells, everything. If you make the wrong decision with your diet because you can't just think logically and step by step, you know, like how numerology, in the way of numerology, I'm just chatting shit now, but like you go number 1, number 2, number 3, usually in maths you go up in numbers, not all the time. So you just, for example, you need breakfast, you might need lunch, you might need dinner, you might need to make sure those things are healthy throughout the day. 1, 2, 3, like A, B, C, do you know what I'm saying? Like if your brain's clashing and all your cells and your stress levels fighting against each other, your body's trying to keep you calm, you're panicking, rushing. You ain't gonna make ABC, you ain't gonna make the healthy decisions for that. So now you're just getting worse, and worse. Like, but you feel like you're trying your best. So that's the most difficult part. So now, the youth of you, some of you when you're younger, the naive part of you is thinking I'm trying my best, but you're nowhere near, like, from an outside point of view. And I'm guilty of this as well. People are looking like you're not trying hard enough, but you think I'm trying my best, but you're in the essence, some of you are killing yourself. We're killing ourselves because we're thinking we're trying our best because our body's just fighting itself. From the bad diets we've had, the way we've been programmed, and like I said, what's going on about the internet, right? Luckily, and I'm lucky for this, but since I left my jobs, I've been spending way too long on the internet. Some of it's beneficial because there's good people to learn from, but when you're not learning from the right people, you're fucked. At first I was just following people because they had big following. I was like, yeah, that's what I want to be like. Yeah, I didn't care who they was, if their music was good or bad. I was like, oh, let's see what they're doing, how they get their following. Like, not even how they get their following, their lifestyle type of thing. Not because I wanted their lifestyle exactly, I just wanted the money. So I was like, these people look like they have money following. Let's see what they're doing. Like, they're just showing, a lot of times they're just showing jewels and material things. But so this makes your brain rush because now you think there's many people achieving it, but if you go out some of you go out in your area, this ain't to people who maybe have drug dealer friends, successful drug dealer friends, or street people that are in the streets getting money and celebrity friends, because you're going to go out and see this in real life. But for many of you, walk out your door at a time when it might be quite busy out, you're not going to see one person wearing a Rolex. You're going to see one person, might be a businessman, one hood guy driving past. Do you get what I'm saying? With a rollie on, or a gold one, if that, yeah? And maybe a couple chains, thin chains. You're not going to see the 10 chains on. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, you're not going to see that in every hood, every moment of the day. In a couple, yeah, but then this is like, okay, I know I'm kind of chatting shit because you will see it sometimes, but I'm just saying that for the most part, what I'm trying to say, I'm not saying no one's done it, because there's people that have done it, and I've walked around certain areas, I've seen people with that status. Do you get what I'm saying? But I'm just saying you're not going to. So you're thinking this life's more obtainable than it is. I'm not saying you're never going to win. You're never going to reach your goals. You will. Some of you will, but not on the level you think you will. That's not me trying to say, no, start setting yourself for failure and don't think I'm going to get rich. Because I'm not going to tell you that. I'm still aiming to get rich. Not to even show off to anyone, but to help people, to help myself. Like I said, I'm a slave to the money. I'll admit that. Not slave to the money, maybe a slave for the money, if there's any difference, but either or. So you're rushed, so you go outside more. Some people don't really go outside as much as others due to whatever paranoia. They just get so caught up in sitting around and seeing what all the gossip is online. Like, it's good, it's fun, don't get me wrong. When you're young, I'm not trying to take away joy from the internet. Don't mean it like that. Some things are fucking fun, like more fun than you have with outside of certain people, but we wasn't made for that. We was made, to be active and move around and shit. Doesn't mean you have to do that every day, but back in the day we probably was walking and foraging from different places to eat every day, but you can have some balance nowadays because most things, if you live in like a city, I'm talking about more to people like me, you can walk to the shop, so you don't need to be walking around foraging for food every day. But it will still make sense to. Do you get what I'm saying? But my point is, if you go out more, you will not see these things as much. You're not going to see 20 Lamborghinis, okay? If you're in Dubai, or you go to like a certain place in London, in your city, where all the good cars go and the expensive places to eat, hotels, okay, you're going to see more of it. If you live there, you're double fucked. I used to live in like near Central. But I still see nice cars around here because there's still a rich area near me, and then more council, like it's just council housing. Then you go further down, it's just council flats. Go a bit further down, it's just tower blocks. It's just that fine line in between. So I still see nice cars, but it's not that I'm not seeing 20 Lambos. I'm seeing like one Porsche 4x4, one Porsche, maybe 911. The rest is all just probably like semi-decent foreign cars, which are nice. I wouldn't call them semi-decent, like nice cars, M3s, 3 Series, 5 Series. Some people say 3 Series is shit. To me, that's a nice car, nice foreign car. So my brain's not like, if you live in central near nice hotels and certain places where there are these things and you're still kind of poor and you want more than you have, you're going to go on the internet, then go outside, you're fucked. You think this is real life. It's not real life. So many people worked hard for their money, don't get to. Some of them got given to them. You don't see that, and they don't know it's got given to them because they don't know who the government picks. That's not me saying they didn't work 9 to 5, day in, day out, sometimes 24 hours a day. Someone like Elon Musk could have worked 24 hours a day and still not realised the government picked him. You can work 24 hours a day, and I'm not calling him a puppet, I'm just giving you the example. You can work 24 hours a day and still be a plant, a government plant, an industry plant. Doesn't mean being an industry plant has nothing to do with whether you worked hard or not. You could have worked your arse off. You just don't see that you're blinded by the money. There's being a slave to the money like me or for the money, then it's being blinded by it. Do you know what I'm saying? When you're blinded by it, you don't see when life is real or life's not real. Yeah? And it's getting kind of long now. 16 minutes, yeah? We're gonna end this short and maybe come with a different aspect of the ultimatum or the fast life and rushing car. I don't want to lose the point by just ranting about the same thing, like the same scenario. But yeah, so basically, the internet is going to make your brain rush. So now when let's get back to the point, yeah, and bring it back to ultimatums real quick before we end this, yeah. So your brain rushes for the ultimatum now because of the internet, because you're young, you think this life's more obtainable because you're seeing thousands of people now with bus towns. Thousands or if not hundreds of people with Lambos. Like, what? Like, I never seen this before. I never knew I could get this. So you're like, yeah, it's a good thing to feel like, shit, I see this. It's a motivation car. Some of you, that don't make you a hater. You're like, you literally get motivated by another man or woman's success. That's beautiful. You're not looking, so don't say it's disgusting. It is disgusting car. Money is being created by scumbags. But some of them, they're our ancestors because we all came from, apparently if we all basically came from 2 people, right? So we're all related. I don't look at life as that stance, but it could be possibly true. So that means we created money, so we're scum too. Doesn't matter what colour skin you have, we're all scum. Do you get what I'm saying? Especially probably us being white car. Do you get what I'm saying? I'll be honest. We have to take the blame now. I'm pretty sure we do. Well, most of the blame there. Anyway, we have to. I don't see how history told us we really can't. So that doesn't mean you're a bad human if you've got white skin. No, of course not. So get that out of your head now. It just means you got to be aware of history and why people are going to hate each other for certain reasons. Can't be surprised when you see it. And some people do say things like, I'm not surprised when I see this. But then all your responses are like, surprised. I probably do the same too. So it's like, well, you are surprised then. You think you're training your brain like, no, this happens. I know this happens. But you're oblivious when it does. So how do you know it happens then? Do you get what I'm saying? Until it actually happens in more to your life physically or mentally, whatever, till it actually happens to you firsthand. You feel me? So rush in your brain because everything's more obtainable now, which is a beautiful thing because you're appreciating. If you didn't want a Lambo and a Rolex, obviously the government is programming this, so it's still a bad thing, but it's a good thing. If you didn't want a Lambo and a Rolex, you wouldn't appreciate another man or woman's hustle. So it means you're not a hater. It's a good thing. I'll be happy. I want that guy's Rolex on his wrist, not his exact Rolex, but I want my own one, maybe the same or similar to that. I respect his hustle. That's beautiful. I'm beautiful. That man is a gentleman. I don't know why. You know what I'm saying? I'm just making up a thing. That man or woman with the Rolex on their wrist is a gentleman or a lady because they might have worked hard for that. They might have done something bad. I'm not trying to judge them before I know them. There's no one in front of me right now. I'm just making up this scenario, like, because if there really was a man with a Rolex on his wrist, he might be getting a bit worried right now, like, as to why the fuck I'm saying that. But you get what I'm saying, yeah? It's a beautiful thing to aspire to be better, but diamonds diamonds and diamonds and watches and cars and shit has been made us want them more through advertisement, through sex and violence, etc. But it doesn't mean it's too late. We're programmed like that now. We like cars and watches. We always did, but it's more sinister now. So there's nothing wrong with liking it, way we've been nothing wrong with this. Nothing wrong with liking the way we've been programmed. But everything's a bit more sinister now. We understand what plays a role in these things, and it's multiplied. So, but anyway, to stay positive, wanting these desires is a beautiful thing. It does not make you a hater because you want what someone else has, because you're appreciating their hustle, whether they done it in a good or bad way. They still worked hard, in most cases, or they still thought smart. Do you get what I'm saying? Because if they never went jail, if they done something bad, they never went jail. They thought smart. Sometimes thinking smart takes more effort in than a 9 to 5 for 365 days. People, you don't get it twisted as well. When someone says work smarter, not harder, and you see someone working smarter, it doesn't mean they got it easy. Because like, sometimes I've come out with the most smartest ideas. It doesn't mean I've made them work, but I come out with the ideas that I actually no one do yet. It might be because they're shit and they're a complete failure of ideas, but I ain't seen no one do certain things. But it's taken years of pain to even get to that level mentally, where someone that worked 365 could have been sat on their arse all day, clocking in and out for like 50, 100 grand a year, just making like yes or no, signing off yes or no on a paper. And then they're gonna hate you when you suddenly, your smartness comes. They're like, you didn't work for 2-3 years, or you just went through a lot of emotional and physical stress, mental stress. Now you got money. Nah. This is what I'm saying. Don't believe the ultimatum. You see what I'm saying? You have to learn the ultimatum to not believe it. So cool. Back to the point. Then we'll get back to the ultimatum thing one last time. Rushing your brain means if someone comes and the internet rushes your brain, right? Someone comes and puts a gun in your hand, and they're like, "We're gonna do this move, yeah? We're gonna do this move. You don't care what it is, who it is. You just want to know how much money is there." Because the situation's happened a few times in my life, and I didn't even really ask who it was. I asked that after that. What's the first thing I said? Well, what's the money? No one put a gun in my hand, by the way. I'm just saying. I'm just kind of over exaggerating the point. If someone's got a move there, they got ballies ready, a car, maybe some weapons. Maybe you're just gonna use your fist. We ain't talking about the ins and outs, but we're just making a scenario for you. Most of the people, when you're rushing, the ultimatum is gonna be, well, what's the stake? Like for this risk where we might get how much time, how much money is guaranteed, or what is your estimate? It has to be a real estimate. It can't just be, I'm just going to make up and it's going to be this much to make you want to do it. It's like your estimate. So now you're just thinking, so now they might tell you it's the fucking Queen's house. They've already told you 100k Queen's house, or the biggest drug dealer in the ends. Yeah? So now, what happens is you've asked about the wrong part of the ultimatum, because you said, yeah, it's yes or no. If the money's good enough, it's a yes. And now you don't know your whole family's on the line, bro. Sis, your whole family's on the line now, because you said, how much is the stake? They said 100k, 2 million. You're like between 100k or 2 million, in the range of that or more. 10 mil, 15 mil, 100 mil. You're like, there's only 4 men on this move. I'm caked, fam. You're not even thinking if them man are going to snake you, because the ultimatum and the rushing of your brain got you. The yes, you heard the money, you already said yes. Now you're like back, now you're thinking, who is it? Should I do this or not? It's like, but the money's next time. If you're thinking, ask all the, and this don't just apply to bad things. Let's put it in a job sense. Like, do I want this job or not? Forget the illegal shit. It doesn't really have to be illegal. I'm just making a point of what's likely to happen to the youth. Right? We're gonna have to cut this soon though, man. But yeah, so let's put it in a more positive example, a job or something. You're like, start with the most complicated questions first. And if that means you lose the job, or people lose interest in you, oh well, because if you have doubts, the chances are you're not going to do it. Yeah, just for example, you go to a job and you're asking all the most awkward questions first, trying to, not saying to complicate life, but just ask whatever your fears and doubts are, ask that. And if they don't like you for it, you've got your answer, so you don't even need the answer. That's the beautiful thing. So that's what happens when you rush the ultimatum. You're already about to say yes, or you're about to say no because you just want to give up. So when the good thing comes, you're more likely to now say no, because the good thing presented itself, but you like to give up and quit because we've been fucking programmed to rush the decision, the ultimatum. So now something good comes, you're like no, so you're naturally going to turn away what's good for you and accept what's bad, because you've been taught to like sex and violence and the things that come with this. So you've already fucking turned away your good chance. Cool, that happens, that's life. Another good chance will come. Because you rushed, you already thought of the yes for the quick life and no for the hustle. You feel me? This won't apply to everyone, by the way. Like, I'm not saying all of you like don't want to hustle. Well, of course you do, but okay, so now cool. Let's get back to the point what I said. When people, you're triggered. So now when someone says work smarter, not harder, and you see someone just caking, and you're like, bro, they just got money quick. They're balling like what? Like an NBA player in a year or two. Like what the fuck? I'm thinking the same as you. I'm like, what? I can't even make like £1 a fucking day, bro. And they got an NBA player's wage or more without even getting an endorsement deal or something. And they got this car, that watch, that house. Their family's all good. Now, I don't watch people and what they do with their family. That's a beautiful thing too. But I'm just stating they're the things you're going to see more like that in social media, or your friends that are successful. You're going to see them doing what they're meant to do, which is great. But you get triggered because you've been working hard. Some of us have been working hard, but we haven't been working as smart. Or if we are smart, we haven't been working as hard. It requires both still, of course. That should just go without saying. But we get triggered because of the ultimatum. We're like, we only listen to smarter or harder, but you don't realise what comes with it because you wasn't in that man or woman's footsteps when they had to think smarter. Because they were going through shit like you. We're going through shit now, so you're going to get to something smart. It doesn't mean you're going to be rich. It might not mean but you're going to be smarter in your own life. Stop thinking about what comes with it. Do you feel me? Stop thinking what comes with thinking smarter. Just be thankful. All this pain and shit, which is not good. I'm not saying be thankful for pain, but be thankful for all this shit you're going through is going to make you think smarter. It's already getting you there. Some of you know it is, you just don't want to admit it. Do you get what I'm saying now? Like, so don't rush. I know it's hard with this, so take some time away from social media. I'm not saying, people always say, well, I got friends on there, I got shit I like to do on it. It takes my mind away from pain. Cool, stay on social media, but take time away from all the pitfalls as much as you can. Some of you don't know what they are, but just stop watching the people with all the fucking jewelry. Block them if you have to. Stop watching the people that are fucking telling you that they hustled and they fucking never. They just got picked by the government. Just block them. Block all the people that might secretly watch your shit and they don't support you. Block them. So you don't have to see them. You don't have to be reminded of negative energy because you might be a positive person and you just think you're negative because you're thinking negatively. You feel that? Play that back. You think you're negative because you're thinking negatively, but you're a positive person. There you go. Start blocking people. Still spend just as much time on social media. I'd advise spending like a few hours less a day. Get out in nature as much as you can. Even if you live in the city, I live in the city, but luckily I live near a park. But if I didn't, I'll still walk to a park. Obviously parks can be dangerous at certain times. I'm not saying at night time, but during the day. If you don't like being around people who've got anxiety, oh whoa, if you don't want to walk out in the dark, you have to do something you don't like one time. Everything's always about, oh, it's dangerous out here. Well, you know. Do you feel me? If you've got anxiety but you don't want to be out during the night, you're going to have to let some people see your face in the daytime. Fucking slap double the amount of makeup on, or fucking moisturize your face twice. It happens. I get them same feelings. So it's like, sometimes I just sit on the couch and I'm like, well, I'm not going out in the day because I have to fucking look at people. Then I'm like, well, I don't really want to go out at night because the fucking police are going to stop me or someone's going to fucking cause an issue. And then I'm like, or even worse, because there's weirdos, some of the people that have money, they're the weird ones. So I'm like, I can't walk through the park where the posh area is because they're weird, they're in the hood. So I'm like, you know what? I'm sitting on the couch today, bro. Or I might just try to find that perfect time when the sun just dims down, 7 p.m, 9 p.m. if it's summer, or 10 p.m, where it's like, it's light enough and cool. The feds ain't gonna bother me, everyone's still out, but it's dark. You don't have to see no dry skin on my face. You get what I'm saying? You're always gonna put you don't put the ultimatum for yourself in the right situation. So when someone says, here's this move for 100k, £1 million, you're like, what's the money? Yes or no, yes or no. Do you want this job? Oh, no. I'm too scared to just say all the most awkward questions first. But when it's time for you to go out and get fresh air, the no ultimatum comes, you just say no. It's not even just say no, you just do nothing. Even saying no involves doing something, you just don't do anything. That's not me calling you lazy, just because you have a lot of pain, stress, anxiety. Yeah? Which in itself is a natural disaster. I know that. Do you get what I'm saying? Other people know that shit. So like I said, spend a few hours less online though, block all the people out that are fucking making you think on negative just for thinking negatively. There's nothing wrong with thinking negatively. Who cares? Do you feel me? You're getting confused. You're getting confused. Like, we was given, over time, our brains, positive and negative is a natural thing, right? It's just made more unnatural. For example, back in the day, now I'm just gonna make up shit. This could be totally false. Someone's gonna go and eat berries from a bush. It's gonna be poisonous. They're gonna get sick or die. Whoever saw that happen is now gonna cringe at the sight of berries. It's it's right to feel negative, but just don't let people put you down and calling you negative for thinking negatively. Because you think negative, it doesn't make you negative. You just you feel that way sometimes, all the time. Some of you, when everything feels like everything's going wrong and everything is going wrong. So you need to get the people away from you that are either too negative, just like you, because it's good to have a balance. I'm not saying block out your friends, but they might need you too. But get rid of them for a couple of days, so that a couple of days a week, because you can't have negative 7 days a week. Doesn't mean drop them as friends 2 days a week, treat it like a job. That's my weekend, fuck off. Even to the good people, but then sometimes you ain't got enough good people. You need some more positive people. Follow them on social media. If you don't have the friends in real time, you follow more positive people on social media. It's free. Using all the free tools, like social media is free, but you're using it all for negative tools. So I'm like, you don't know what free means then. Do you feel me? Literally, period, free, period. Yeah? Let's see what time I have. I'm about to dial. The memory's gonna like half hour, yeah? So you're gonna have to spend less time on social media. There's nothing wrong with being negative at all. Like, as long as you're not a negative person, thinking negatively is not an issue. Being negative all the time is the issue. And people who are negative all the time are going to make you feel negative all the time. So sometimes you realise you unfollow these people from social media in your life and you realise, yeah, I'm negative, but it's not all the time. Some people will fucking put you down negatively in a positive way, so you think they're positive. Nah, they're not. Trust me. They're not positive, yeah? I'm not saying they never are, but on social media, they're kicking you down like, come on, I'm going to kick you down in a positive way today. Fuck off. Me, I'll be negative, then positive. I'll try my best not to act like I'm being positive to you. If I am, then call me out for it, innit? Fuck that, that's what life's about. It's about opinions, connections. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? The worst that happens, you might do it rudely, I might just block you, but I'll still get the message and still try to do better the next day, whether I block you or not. Sometimes to save my argument from someone, I might just block them. Not because I'm not ready for the argument, it's just a waste of time sometimes. It's like, that's more negative in itself. I like the criticism, but some people, even myself, I do it wrong. So I'd even block myself on a good day. I'll block myself on my best day. You feel me? So if I block someone, they shouldn't never be offended, because I would block myself, because I do. Sometimes not going to say hate or dislike, the people rub us up the wrong way who we are very similar. Do you know what I mean? That's not, so I don't block someone because I feel like, oh, I'll never be like them. I just block them because, you know what, sometimes we're too similar, you're blocked. I block people for the most pettiest reason. We don't even have to talk. Man could be my twin, I will block you because we're too similar, you're blocked. You feel me? So, like I said, yeah, you gotta take some less time. Take more time for yourself, do you get what I'm saying? Unfollow all the people. Not everyone, like, you don't, just because someone's negative or whatever, all these things, but like bad things I've been saying about others as well, sometimes it is in you as well, so that's not going to help. But I'm not saying block every single person that's negative, just block a few, like get your balance a bit more on your favour, because you're always letting the ultimatum decide your fate, your favour, which is like, sometimes it happens naturally. You can't always change the way life is going to go, but you can change your brain mentally. Then your brain mentally changes the way your life is going to go. Do you know what I'm saying? And I think we're going to leave it there, but like I said, you need to spend less time on social media and cut the people out of your life 2 days a week that do not benefit you positively. Block someone for 2 days on social media in real life. get me? Social media in real life, block them for 2 days a week. Don't block them all the time if you like seeing their face and you like listen to their bullshit from their first world issues that you all chat shit about. But some people make out like their life's ruined because of it. Me, I'm the opposite. I'll complain about first world issues, but I'll tell you why we should change them. Not how, but why, because otherwise we're always going to be complaining about first world issues when people have it much harder. So we need to change, not everything, but we need to change as much as we can. You can't change everything. Some things are probably meant to happen to make us feel a certain way. Do you know what I'm saying? So not everything should be blocked and avoided. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying you have to make your brain rush less. And social media is like being on, like I said about the moped, social media is like being on a moped 24/7. Like I've seen people jump from mopeds to cars. Not everyone's bad, because some people been driving cars and riding mopeds, but I've seen people jump from more like from bikes, no cars, to cars. They are. I was like, I thought I was bad. I was like, I'm fine in a car, because I jumped in a car before I ever cycled. Do you know what I mean? Like with my uncle and shit. So like when I was young, I was in cars, so I kind of knew about waiting in traffic and all this shit. Or not even that. Don't even need to use that as an excuse. If you see someone from the countryside, like from an area where it takes far to drive everywhere, wait till they see a tractor. Because they used to drive anywhere 50, 70 miles an hour. Then they wait behind a tractor going 4 miles per hour, 8 miles per hour, whatever. Chee! You will see how their brain starts rushing. Because it's not even rushing, you see how their brain starts slowing down, and they can't take it. Like, there's nothing wrong with having a fast brain, thinking fast. Some of them people are the smartest people in the world, but they can't take certain things when they don't go their way. Everyone doesn't like change. So some of you listen and think too fast, you need to slow your brain down. Some of you think too slow, you need to speed your brain up, but you don't like the change. You're going to say no to all the smelling a flower to slow your brain down. You're going to say no because you don't like change, not because you don't like a fucking sniffing the flower. You're like, I don't want to look like an idiot sniffing the flower. No, it's just you don't like change. When I leave that there, change from ultimatum to change.